So welcome to Gentle Yoga. My name is Lynn Block, and we are going to start in a standing position. You may want yoga blocks or books on the floor if you need that option, and you may want to have a pillow or blanket to sit on once we hit some meditation, because this is 45-minute gentle yoga followed by 15-minute meditation. Welcome to join me as long as you like. The spine or mountain pose, feet come underneath our hips. We want to pick up our toes and press into all four corners of our feet, pressing down into our feet, and then gently set those toes down. From there, we're going to lift from the floor, lifting our kneecaps towards our hips, pull the belly button towards our spine, shoulders back and down, palms come forward, finding our mountain pose here. And we can keep our eyes open or we can choose to close our eyes. We're just going to find our breath for a few breaths here. So if you want to close those eyes, please feel free to close those eyes. Otherwise, gaze towards the ground. Think about inhaling, ribs expanding in all directions. And then exhaling out the back of the throat and out that nose. Inhaling, bringing that energy into our body. And exhaling out if we have any tension or stress we'd like to let go of. Inhaling that energy in. Really feel those ribs expand. Feel the lungs and then the belly expands. Exhaling, pressing that air out through the belly, out the lungs, and out that nose. As we're breathing here, continue with that breath, noticing how we're feeling today. How are we feeling physically? How are we feeling mentally? How are we feeling emotionally? Just acknowledge how we're feeling today. Let's honor that as we move through our gentle yoga practice. Letting go of all judgments, competition, and expectations here on the four corners of our mats. Making sure we move and work at our own level and take any options that we need. Giving me a few more breaths right here. Let's go ahead and add some movement. If we'd like to open those eyes, slowly open those eyes. Soften our knees a little bit. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lifting our body, lengthening the spine. Exhaling as we come through heart center. Inhale, lifting up. And exhaling through heart center. Inhale, reaching. Exhale through heart center. As we're breathing here, maybe think about what kind of intention we might like to set for our practice today. Are we going to set an intention of gratitude or celebrating joy or having patience? Just think about anything we'd like to set our intention on. Inhale, lifting, and this time holding the hands at heart center. Bringing the thumbs towards the heart center. And set that intention, lock it in for the rest of the practice right here. Keeping our hands at heart center, let's start to move the legs. We're going to go into chair pose. So sinking back into those heels and lifting up. So from the side, the tailbone pushes back, knees are behind our toes. Inhale, lift. We may keep those hands here at heart center, or we can add movement. We can lift overhead, and then we can circle sweep, reaching forward. Or we can lengthen, and then as we come back, we can come to heart center. So choosing what feels best for our shoulders here as we're warming our shoulders up, warming those legs up, finding the option that feels great for our bodies today. Inviting that movement in and noticing how we're feeling as we invite that movement in. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, sinking. And just noticing how we're feeling here as we start to move. But finish this one. Inhale, lift. One more chair. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, circle sweep those arms just beside us. Nice and easy. Do a chest expansion. The two options, hands can go to hips, pulling the elbows back, or you're welcome to clasp those hands and lengthen the arms. So whatever option feels best, elbows pull back, squeezing our glutes open across the collarbones. Really think about the elbows and arms pulling back as we breathe. Notice our breath here. Really feel the stretch across the collarbones, maybe into the upper arms. One more inhale, and as we exhale, slowly release those arms. Go to a little lateral flexion. Taking our right arm, inhale, reaching up, lengthen through the side, and then exhale, maybe the left arm slides down that leg. Inhale, lift to center. Exhale, release. Switching sides. Inhale, lengthen the left arm, really reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide it down, and maybe add a little lean, creating dynamic tension through the sides of our body. Inhale, lift, switching sides. Exhale, really reach. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, lean. Releasing, inhale, switching, lengthen, and then exhale, reaching, creating dynamic tension on the side of our body. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release. Take those arms, let's do a nice big swing and wrap. Let those arms just release as we wrap those hands around our body, twisting from side to side. Nice gentle twist in that spine. Knees are soft. And then come back to center, finding that mountain pose again. Gonna go through the half sun salutation, the standing half. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Bending the knees, belly towards the thigh. Soften those knees. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhaling, forward fold. Soften those knees. Inhale, rising all the way up. From the side, exhale, forward fold. Swan dive forward. Belly towards the thighs, hands towards the ground or yoga blocks. Inhale, lifting up. Exhaling, forward fold. Knees can stay soft. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, let's add chair pose here. Hands forward or heart center. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Tip from the hip. Hands towards the ground or yoga blocks. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhaling, forward fold. Soften our knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhaling to chair, hands at heart center or forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. Hands to ground. Soften those knees. Stepping back to down dog. Feet about hip width apart. Softening our knees if our hamstrings are tight. Lifting the tailbone up. Pushing through the shoulders. We have a nice upside down V. Inhale. As we exhale, dropping our knees towards the mat. If we need extra padding under the knees, please add it. It can be a blanket, a towel, anything if we need that extra padding. Hands are under the shoulders. Knees are under our hips. Taking a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, rounding our back to cat. As we inhale, releasing to that cow or sway back, looking up. Exhale, tucking the chin, arching that back up into cat. Inhale, releasing to that cow or sway back. So keep moving between cat and cow and noticing how our spine is feeling. Do we have any tight spots in that spine today? Just pay attention to that sensation and be mindful as we move through our yoga practice. One more cat and one more cow. Returning to that neutral spine, finding that nice neutral spine, pushing those hands down into the mat. Let's go into spinal balance. So taking that right foot back behind us, the foot can be on the ground, toes on the ground, or we can choose to lift it up about hip height, push the heel back. And now we can choose to add left arm forward, so opposite arm and leg. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, set it in. Switching sides, left foot back. Start with the leg, toe can be on the ground, or we can lift. Adding that right arm, inhale, lengthen. As we exhale, pull it in. So we're just gonna float from side to side, noticing how we feel. So really think about on the inhale, reaching long. Exhale, coming back to that neutral place in the center. Inhale, lengthening our spine. And coming back to center. If our wrists are bothering us today, we can use fist for wrists instead of pressing into the palms. So again, listening to our bodies and choosing the options that are correct for our body today. Give me one more on each side. Finishing here. Coming back to center, neutral spine. Going to child's pose. We can sit back over those heels, and if we want a little more space, we can bring the knees a little further apart. Dropping the forehead down towards the mat, pushing the hands into the mat. Breathing here. This is child's pose. So finding child's pose, we can come to this pose at any time. Now if we're having any discomfort in our knees, lift those hips up a little higher, that's okay. And again, we can always pad the knees. Inhale, lift up a little bit, walk to the right edge of our mat. Sit back into the left hip, just stretching down the left side of our body. One of my favorite stretches here. Often we neglect the sides of our bodies. That's why it's one of my favorites. Inhale, lifting up, walk across the mat to the left edge. And sit back into that right hip. Stretching down the right side of our body. Breathing as we hold. Inhale, lifting up, walking back to center. Find child's pose again in the center. Inhale, lifting up. Hands come underneath shoulders. If we separated our knees, walk them in. We're gonna warm up the shoulders. So sit back over those heels. We're gonna inhale forward to a kneeling plank. And exhale back towards child's pose. Inhale, shift forward to that kneeling plank. Noticing how our shoulders are feeling. Feel the shoulders slide down the spine as we come forward. Exhaling, feel the shoulders slide up the spine as we come back. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, shifting back. Notice our core engaging as we shift forward, dropping the tailbone. Exhale back. We're gonna add on, inhale, shifting forward, hold here. I'm gonna turn my toes over to push my chest forward so my shoulders are over my fingers. I'm gonna bend the elbows. Inhale, lift back up, and exhale back. Let's do that again. Inhale, shift forward, kneeling plank. Use our toes, shifting forward more. Bend the elbows, crocodile, half push up. Inhale, lift, and exhale back. Inhale, shifting forward. Use the toes, push the shoulders more forward. Bend the elbows, crocodile. Coming back up and over those heels. This time we're gonna hold crocodile for one breath. Hold. Drop the hips down. Make a nice long line with our body, hands by the chest or shoulders, feet wider than the hips. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. So think about lengthening the spine forward and up as we lower down, releasing. Engaging those glute muscles to lift and lower down. Notice how that spine is feeling today. Activating that posterior chain, the back side of the body. Inhale, lifting and lowering. One more inhale, lift and exhale, lower. Pressing back into child's pose. Let's put all of those together for our kneeling sun salutation. Inhale, lifting up. Shift forward to plank. Push the chest forward, bend the elbows, crocodile. Hips drop, inhale, lift, baby cobra. And exhale, press back to child's pose. Do that again, generating some heat. Inhale, shifting forward, kneeling plank. Push the chest forward, bend the elbows, crocodile. Hips drop, inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, pressing back to child's pose, holding here. Inhale, lifting up. Let's do a little figure 8 here, checking out our shoulders. So let's go side to side, shoulder to shoulder, and heel to heel, hip to hip. Inhale forward, exhaling back. Inhale, shifting forward, exhaling over the heels. Making that figure 8 with our spine, shoulder to shoulder, and heel to heel. Let's reverse that direction, coming forward, other side first. Just noticing how our shoulders and our hips are feeling as we move. And let's hold child's pose when we get back over those heels. Inhale, lifting up. Bring our right foot forward. Here's where we may want those yoga blocks or books. I'm gonna grab my yoga blocks, put them beside my feet. We're gonna sink into a kneeling lunge here. Again, always welcome to pad that knee. We need extra padding. Our knee is in line with our ankle here. Hands can go to yoga blocks or the ground. Breathing. So we're in this kneeling lunge, sinking forward in that hip. Just notice how the hip is feeling today. Has anybody else been walking more outside if we can? So sometimes those hip flexors need a little extra love. We're gonna slowly walk up that leg. Inhale, lift the chest. I'm gonna bring my hands towards heart center and I'm gonna twist to the side. And I can bring my elbow towards the knee. Hands can stay as close to heart center as we can get them. Or if we've been doing this for a while, we might be able to get it on the other side of the leg. Might be able to bring that hands towards the chest. We can stay here in this twisted lunge. And we can also lift the back leg up long. So we're in a twisted lunge. And if that does not feel good, hands back to the ground, okay? So choosing that twisted lunge or just a normal lunge, can be on the knee or knee lifted. Breathing. Inhaling as we exhale, untwist back to center. We're going to shift our weight back, going to half splits. So take the books or yoga blocks with you and pull the toes towards the nose. Fingertips can also reach towards the ground. Feel the stretch from the heel up the back of that leg. Half split pose. Looking towards the knee and breathing. Slowly walking back forward, back into that lunge. Let's everybody try to lift the knee off. So you're gonna curl that back toe under and lift off the ground. Again, yoga blocks, if you have them, can change direction so you get more height if we need them. Front knee still in line with the ankle. Breathing. At any time this is too much, please go back to the kneeling lunge. Slowly dropping down. And let's go ahead. Pull that foot back. Switching sides. I'm going to turn around so that the other side's facing you. Go ahead, bring that left foot forward, finding our kneeling lunge here. Again, we can use those books or yoga blocks. Front knee in line with that ankle. Shifting the back hip forward. Patting that knee if it's needed. We can look down towards the foot to start. Just notice, are we feeling different on this side? Sometimes from side to side, we're not always the same. Sometimes we hold more tightness on one side than the other. Completely normal. Breathing. Slowly lifting our chest up. Bringing our hands to heart center. We're going to add that twist. You bring the hand to the top of the thigh, on the outside of the thigh, And think about trying to bring the hands, thumbs towards heart center. Just notice, do we have rotation on this side? We can always turn that back foot over and lift the knee up if we want that option. Remember, that's just an option. And if twisting is uncomfortable, please untwist and just hold the kneeling lunge. Breathing. Listening to our bodies. Letting go of all expectations and judgments. Slowly untwist back to center. We're still twisted. And we're going to go into that half split. So walking those books or yoga blocks back, pull the toes towards the chest, looking towards the knee. Fingertips can be on the ground. Breathing. Listening to our bodies and breathing. On our next inhale, we're going to shift back forward to that kneeling lunge. Option here to turn that back foot over and lift the knee off the ground. We can stay with the hands on the ground or books. We can turn yoga blocks if we have them, finding a low lunge. Breathing here. Slowly releasing the knee down if it's up. And let's go back into child's pose. Feet come together, knees apart, sitting into child's pose here. Inhale, lifting up, going to down dog. So hands firmly on the ground, turning our feet over, exhaling as we lift to down dog. Feet about hip width apart. Lift the heels up, and then drop right heel down, left knee bend. Inhale, lift both heels up. Exhale, drop the other heel down, other knee in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Both heels, inhale, lift. Drop both heels towards the mat. You do not have to be on the mat, just towards the mat. Head is between the biceps, tailbone towards the ceilings. Knees are soft if we need to release those hamstrings slightly. Breathe and hold. So we're going to shift forward into a plank here. We can do kneeling plank or on the toes. Inhale, shifting forward to plank, toes or knees. Exhaling back to down dog. Inhale, shift forward, kneeling plank or toes. Exhale back to down dog. One more time, inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale back to down dog. Inhaling. As we exhale, walking our feet towards our hands, coming into forward fold. Hands towards the ground or yoga blocks or books. Soften our knees. Reverse swan dive up. Exhale to chair. Inhale, lift. And exhale to mountain. From mountain here, we're going to step back into a warrior one. So take our right foot back to warrior one. Warrior one, the foot is at an angle, hips towards the front leg. Sinking down into the hips, front knee bend, back leg long. Hands towards heart center. Inhale, lift up. As we exhale, pull the elbows wide, opening the heart center, cactus arms. Breathing. Really open through the chest and the collarbones here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, let's lean forward. And we can keep those arms out or we can bring the hands to the thighs to support. So it's an extended warrior one, looking down towards that foot. Breathing. Inhale, lift the chest up. We're going to turn that back foot coming into warrior two. So adjust those feet, finding warrior two. Back foot faces the long edge of the mat, front foot towards the short end. We're going to sink into those hips. Back knee straight, front knee bent. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Think about this back leg picking up and rolling the thigh towards the mat. front knee, pull it towards the pinky toe so that the knee is in line with the ankle. We can add those arms long or keep them at heart center. We can look down the fingertips. Breathing. We're reversing that warrior. Back hand to the back leg. Inhale, reaching up. Lengthen through the front side of the body. Sinking into our hips. Keep the front knee bent. Create that tension in the front side of our body. Dynamic tension in our muscles. Inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale. As we exhale, return to warrior two. Arms out or hands to heart center. Sinking into those hips. Pull that front knee towards the pinky toe. Getting ready for side angle. Hand to thigh. You can reach towards ground also. Drop this top hip down. Arm can go straight up in the air or behind our back. Either option. Stacking ankle, knee, elbow, shoulder, shoulder. And we can look up at the hand or over the shoulder. Breathing. Side angle pose. Inhaling, rising back up to warrior two. Releasing our arms down, turning both feet the same direction. Going to wide straddle. Tipping from the hip. Soften our knees. Hands towards ground or the stack of books. And lifting the tailbone up. Soften the elbows, let the head just hang. We may keep the hands here, take them out to our ankles, grab our wrist or forearms, or reach behind us, fingertips back. Softening our knees, lifting the tailbone up. Breathing. Bringing our hands back to the center on the ground. Soften our knees, hands to our thighs, slowly rising all the way up. Stepping carefully to the front edge of our mat. We're going to step back with the left leg. I'm going to go to the other side. Stepping back with that left leg into warrior one. At an angle, hips towards that front leg. Bend our front knee, back leg straight. Hands to heart center. Inhale, let's lift those arms up. And exhale, pull the elbows down. Cactus arms, this is what it looks like. Cactus arms, really pull the elbows back. Breathing, keep the front knee bent. Opening our chest. Breathe. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands to heart center, tipping forward, looking towards the foot. We can support on the thigh or reach the arms out. Taking any option. Hands can also stay at heart center. Breathing. The support on the leg is light. Really think about using our core. Inhale, lifting that chest up. Release the arms down. Turning our back foot so we can go to warrior two. We want our feet nice and wide, like 3 feet apart or more, depending on how long our legs are. Sink down into the hips, back leg straight, front knee bent. Think about picking up the top thigh and rolling the thigh towards the mat. Front knee, pull it towards our pinky toe. Adding those arms, either heart center or lengthen. Breathe and hold. If we can, sink into those hips a little bit more. Breathing. Reverse warrior. Back hand to the back leg. Inhaling, front arm reach up. Lifting out of the ribs. Maybe add a little lean over. Keeping the front knee bent. Creating that tension in the front side of our body. Lifting out of the ribs. On our next inhale, coming back into warrior two, arm choices. Side angle, hand towards the thigh. Other arm can go up in the air or behind our back. Check that our knee, ankle, elbow, shoulder, shoulder all stacked. Looking straight ahead at the arm in the air. We're choosing the arm option that feels best for us. Dropping that hip as much as we can. On our inhale, we're lifting up. Find warrior two again. Releasing those arms down slowly, stepping feet together. So we're towards the front end of the mat, getting ready for balancing poses. Let's do balancing chair and add tree afterwards, okay? So finding chair pose, hands to heart center, or those arms can come forward. Soften our knees, sitting back into chair. We're welcome to stay here. Really think about weight back in the heels. Toes should be able to wiggle. Hands can be forward. We can stay here in chair. Just think about dropping as much as we can with the hips. Check that those knees are in place. Or we can choose to lift those heels up. One heel maybe, and then the other, or both heels together. So welcome to play around just doing one heel and then the other. Get a feel for what that feels like. Or we can do both together in balancing chair. Any option that feels okay. I'll stay with the alternating one today. And then maybe just hold one up. How's that feel? And then maybe hold the other one up. Both heels drop. Inhale, lifting up. Take the hands up. And exhale, hands back towards heart center. Going to tree pose. Feet are underneath our hips. Soften our left knee, right foot to the side. We're going to slide that heel in. It can be at the ankle, above the ankle, or anywhere on that leg. Hands are welcome to stay at heart center, or we can choose to take them overhead. Straight up, cactus arms, palms out, one up, one down. Any option for arms that feels okay. Breathe. Find a place for that eye gaze. Slowly release the hands towards heart center. Releasing all the way down and set the foot down. Walk it out, switching sides. Tree pose, other side. Hands toward heart center. Find a place for the eye gaze, engage our core. When we're ready, left foot to the side, soften the right knee. Slide that foot in. We could choose to lift it up or keep it on the ground. You can stay here with those hands, or we can go overhead. Any variation of arms that feels okay. Breathing. Bringing our hands back towards heart center. Releasing our foot down, kind of walking it out. Take her down. Bring now into a forward fold and we're going to hold. So if you need books or yoga blocks, please go there. So feet underneath those hips, maybe a little wider if you would like to try that. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Holding here. Lift the tailbone up. Shift your weight towards the balls of the feet. Just breathe. And we're welcome to stay here. Or we can choose a different option. We're welcome to grab our big toe with our peace fingers and straighten the arm. Hand to big toe, forward fold. If there's another option that we like, please feel free to take it. Slowly softening those knees, release the hands, stepping both feet back to down dog. We're going to go through with that half sun salutation. You can choose options. Shifting forward to plank toes or knees. Bend the elbows, crocodile. And then choose baby cobra or up dog if we want to go there. exhaling back to down dog. Kind of walk that dog, alternate those heels. We're going to do the rest of the practice on our mat. Slowly drop those knees down to the floor, finding a child's pose. And good. Inhale, lifting forward, shifting to laying on our belly. Hands come together, resting our forehead on the hands. Feet about hip width apart. From here, we're going to go into a locust pose. Let's start with just the feet. Inhaling as we exhale, lifting the legs from the hip bones, and breathe. Slowly lower down. Let's add the upper body. Hands can be at those shoulders. Slowly lower down. Let's add both together if we have no low back problems. Inhale, lift, legs and arms. Breathing. Slowly lower down. Bring our hands next to our chest, pressing up and into child's pose. Slowly rousing up, bringing our feet around, having a seat. Bend our knees. Just a little lift and boat pose. Hands behind our legs. Sitting up super tall and then leaning back. Engage the core. Lengthen through the chest. Or you can choose to stay here. And start to lift the feet any amount. We can let go of the legs. Choosing any form of boat. And breathe. Slowly lower down. Lengthen the legs out. Taking our right foot. Cross it over the left leg. We want to be above the knee. We're going to take our hands on the floor beside us. We're going to slowly bend the knee in. Are you ready? Pull that bottom knee in. Keep the toes of the right foot pulling towards the right knee. This is seated pigeon. Opening through the hip. And we can adjust our hands, keep the chest lifted, elbows soft. We can adjust the feet and the hips to find that place where we want to hold and breathe. Very deep hip opener right here. Remember, you can adjust the intensity by changing where your foot is placed. One more inhale. As we exhale, slowly straighten that leg. Switch to the other leg. Lengthen the right leg out. Left leg comes in. Cross it over that thigh. Left toe towards the left knee. Hands beside us. Sliding the right foot down. Again, adjusting wherever needed. Lifting our chest. Shoulders away from the ears. Outer thigh gluteal stretch in our seated pigeon. Anybody else's favorite pose here? One of mine. I like lateral flexion, or I like the side bend stuff. And then I like pigeon. I always like a good deep hip stretch. Slowly releasing that foot down. Uncross those legs. Sliding down our mat. Laying on our back. Hugging our knees into our chest. We can rock back and forth or side to side. Planting those feet on the ground. We're going to lift up into bridge. Feet about hip width apart. Take a breath here. As we exhale, lifting up into that bridge pose. Think about activating the back side of our body, pressing into the heels. All the weights in the shoulders. Notice how this feels for us. Inhaling as we exhale, slowly lowering down. We're going to go into a happy baby. So hugging our knees into our chest. Then we're going to push the heels towards the ceiling. We're either going to grab the backs of our legs Arches of our feet or our big toes. Pull the knees outside of that body, press the heels up. Lengthen the back of the neck so the neck is long. Breathing and holding. Slowly, if we're ready, releasing those feet down. Our final pose before relaxation will be reclined butterfly. Feet together, knees open wide. Hands can be by the hips, on the belly and chest as we breathe, or we can extend them long overhead. You don't have any, or you can do cactus arms, depending on our space. Just breathing here, nice deep breaths in. As we exhale, open mouth, exhale. We should hear ourselves breathe. Inhaling. Open mouth, exhale. Inhaling. Open mouth, exhale. Take a moment and think about our intention we set at the beginning of our class. If this is a place we would like to stay for Shavasana, please feel free to stay here. This is our final relaxation. If we would like to find a different position, welcome to bend the knees, straighten the legs, roll to the side. Any option that feels okay for us. So go ahead, find our Shavasana pose. Remember, this is a 45-minute gentle practice. So we'll be spending about 4 minutes here in Shavasana, giving ourselves a chance to relax. Once we're in that position, maybe try to get those wiggles out. And then just focus on the breath. Inhaling, belly rise with air filling the ribs. And then exhale, pressing that air out the back of the throat and out that nose. Inhaling, let that belly rise. And exhaling out. Continue to focus on the breath. Letting our bodies relax completely. Stay laying down, I sat up. Stay laying down. Think about inhaling the air all the way to our fingertips. And then as we exhale out, start at the fingertips, try to pull the tension from the fingers, the palms, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, and the shoulders as we exhale out completely. Inhale and exhale, nice clearing breath. This time, nice deep inhale. Think about sending the breath all the way down to our toes. And then exhale the tension out of our toes, our feet, our calves, our shins, our knees, our thighs, our gluteals, up the spine and out. Inhaling and exhaling, nice cleansing breath. This time, sending that breath all the way up to the crown of the head. Nice deep breath in all the way to the top of that head. And as we exhale, relax through the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, the throat, the neck, and out the chest. Nice cleansing breath. If we're still holding any tension on our exhale, let our tension go. Wherever we might be holding that tension. Could be jaw, could be neck, shoulder blades, hips, thighs, wherever we're holding that breath. Please let that breath grab that tension and exhale tension out of our body. Feeling calm. Maybe feeling centered, feeling at ease, feeling relaxed. If we're staying for meditation, welcome to stay here. Otherwise, we're welcome to slowly wiggle those fingers and toes, waking up that body, bring it back into present moment. And when we're ready, rolling to our side, coming to an upright position. Taking a few breaths. Bringing our hands towards heart center. The greatness in me honors the greatness in you. Namaste. All right, so we're going to go to meditation. I'm going to quick hit stop on the record so that we have a separate recording. And you can set yourself up for